Hi, and welcome to the workshop on implementing research. In this workshop, we'll go over how to make a researchable topic, locate databases, use effective search keys, evaluate sources, implement research into your paper, and how to properly cite your sources. Now, let's get started. Formulating a researchable topic or thesis. To find your thesis, start with a general idea of what you want to write about, and then narrow it down by asking yourself, what about this topic do I want to focus on? Is there a specific element that interests me? You can also narrow your topic down by focusing on some specific factors like the date, location, specific characteristics such as race, gender, age, or class, or use a cause and effect approach. Is there a specific cause or effect about your topic that you want to write about? You can also focus on the relativeness of your topic. Does it have a specific impact or relation to history, culture, society, or something else? Selecting a database. Once you have your topic, it's time to begin researching. The first thing you want to do is find a good database to locate sources. The John Tyler Library has a list of databases on their website that are free to use. To find the right database for you, it's important to know the type of sources you're looking for. Audio, visual, newspapers, magazines, scholarly journals, and books are just a few categories. Examples of databases. You may be required to use a certain database for your research paper. For a scholarly, peer-reviewed source, use a large academic database like Academic Search Complete. For humanities, use JSTOR. If you're looking for a visual source, Films on Demand. For recent news articles and case laws, use Google Scholar. And if you're looking for a source that caters to both sides of an issue, Opposing Viewpoints Research Center is the place to go. Keywords and search filters. The more specific you are with your search phrases, the more relevant your results will be. You can filter your search by date, field or subject, source type, and keywords specific to your topic. When using keywords to narrow your search results, be concise, avoid long phrases, and start with only 2 to 3 terms. Use synonyms. If your first term doesn't bring up any useful sources, try a synonym or a broader term. Background research. Do some quick background research on your topic and make note of any terms that are often used to discuss your topic. Evaluating sources. You can tell if a source is credible by looking at the 5 W's. Who is the author? What is the purpose of the information? When was the site created or last updated? Where does the information come from? And why is this information useful to you? Looking at the author's qualifications and credentials helps you evaluate whether or not the information provided can be trusted. By asking yourself about the author's intentions, you can evaluate whether or not the information provided is based on fact or opinion, and if the author appears biased to a certain viewpoint. Based on your topic, the date of publication can help you determine whether a source is viable. Does your topic require current information, or are older sources applicable? Can you find the same information on another source? Are sources and references cited? Has the information been reviewed or referred? Is the information supported by evidence? Is the information in this source better than other sources you have looked at? Does the source target your intended audience? The URL can also help you determine the credibility of a source. .com means it's a commercial site. .edu means it's a school or university site. .gov is for government websites. .org is for for-profit or non-profit organizations. Implementing research. You can implement your research in one of 2 ways, quotations or paraphrasing. Despite which one you choose, you want to introduce the information before actually citing it. Provide context in which a quote appears and explain how the quote ties into your point by providing a summary of your source or including background information that highlights the source's credibility, like the author's credentials or the relevancy of the source to your topic. Signal phrases help the reader move from your words to the words of the source seamlessly. Some words used in signal phrases are explains, asserts, finds, acknowledges, confirms, concludes, suggests, and illustrates. Quotations. When you quote, you copy passages exactly as they appear in the source. You should include a quotation when trying to establish the credibility of an author, You want to add strength to your argument through an author's words, comparing and contrasting different viewpoints, and when you want to highlight a specifically powerful phrase. Quotes should be primarily used for supplementary information supporting your overall stance or to define something specific. You want to shorten longer quotes as much as possible by cutting out everything you don't absolutely need to prove your point. If a quote is too lengthy, your point can get lost. You can shorten quotes by putting ellipses where you took out words from the original text. While quotes must follow the text exactly, it must also fit the grammar of the sentence into which it is integrated. You might have to change a pronoun, verb tense, or an initial capital letter. Put brackets around the words in the quote you changed. Expanding on quotes. Quotes should never stand alone. As a writer, it is important that you demonstrate your understanding of a quotation and be able to analyze the information presented to show how it impacts or supports your stance. Paraphrasing. When you paraphrase, you render ideas from a source in your own words. You must change the sentence structure, wording, and phrasing dramatically to make the thought your own, but still maintain the source's ideas. You should paraphrase when you want to clarify a confusing passage, give a quick explanation of the work, and avoid using too many quotes. Summarizing. Summaries are short synopses of longer scenes or passages. It should be limited to the main points without going into specific details or providing irrelevant information. You should summarize to provide an overview of the topic or to provide more context on the topic. Applying evidence. You want to make sure that you connect your evidence to your topic after you present it by connecting each piece to either a subclaim or your thesis. I generally use this structure when I am applying outside information into my paper. Assertion, evidence, commentary. The first part, assertion, is where you make a claim or take a stance. Then you provide your evidence, whether that be a quotation or paraphrase, and lastly, you comment on the evidence by explaining how it supports your stance. Ask yourself, how does the evidence benefit the main idea of the paragraph? Or how does the evidence support the stance as a whole? You are connecting the dots for the reader rather than leaving it up to the reader to make the connection. It's your job to prove how the evidence supports your stance. Synthesis. Synthesis, as opposed to analysis, which is breaking down text, is building up an idea based on commonalities between two or more sources and applying those connections to support your main idea. In-text citations. MLA in-text citations require the author's last name and page number, while APA requires the author's last name, year of publication, and page number. For more help on in-text citations for MLA and APA, go to the Style Guides tab of the Writing Center LibGuide. For a direct quote, the citations go after the outside quotation mark, but before the period. For paraphrasing, the citation goes after you are done discussing one source. If you change between sources, you need to make sure you add your citation after each idea you use. I hope you found this workshop helpful, and to test your knowledge on all you've learned, there is a Kahoot quiz.